Mr. Farage, next Thursday, the Five-Star Movement activists will vote to join or not your group in the European Parliament. What do you say?
Well, I very much hope they do, because we have a lot of shared common purposes. The belief in the concept of democracy and the damage that Brussels is doing to democracy, but even more important perhaps, the concept of direct democracy, and the understanding that locking the north of Europe together with the south of Europe inside an economic and monetary union is not working.
You met Mr. Beppe Grillo some weeks ago. What could you do together in the European Parliament?
Well, I was struck that he's a human being. Unlike so many people in politics who are sort of automatum, dull, boring, grey, humourless, and Grillo is, of course, the antithesis of all of those things. No, I enjoyed meeting him very much indeed. And I was struck that, there may be areas of policy that we disagree on, but on the big fundamental principles, of power to the people and democracy, and of the idea that this Brussels project is actually damaging democracy and damaging the individual nations, there was huge agreement.
There are some people in Italy who say that your program is very different from the Five-Star Movement one, about environment protection, energy, immigration, and so on. What do you say about that?
Well, the immigration debate is a very straightforward debate. The total free movement of people between poor and rich countries is slightly irresponsible, and the nations should decide who comes to live and work and settle in their country. On the energy issue, look, we have some differences, but look, when you form an alliance in the European Parliament like the EFD group, the point is you agree on what you agree on, but you're completely free to vote differently on the other things. This is not a marriage, this is a loose association that we're talking about.
How many national parties do you have right now for a political group?
Well, like all negotiations, it's never over till it's over. But we're talking to, we are talking to a lot of different people, and I think if the Italian Five-Star Movement say yes, we're going to do this, and I very much hope they will, then I think things will fall into place very, very quickly. So it isn't just UKIP that's watching what the Five-Star Movement does. There are lots of other parties out there watching it, and the big bosses in Brussels are watching it very, very closely. And the one thing the Brussels bureaucracy doesn't want is the Five-Star Movement to do a deal with UKIP.
Some people in Italy say that you are a racist.
I've never heard that until 2 months ago. We've been around nobody in 20 years has called us a racist party until 2 months ago. Why is that? Because we're now posing a direct threat and a direct challenge to the establishment. Just look tonight at my 24 MEPs. I've got one Muslim, I've got one openly gay man, I've got one man who comes originally from a gypsy family, I've got mixed race people, I've got Jewish people, I've got a lot of women, I've got the biggest, most diverse group of people probably in the European Parliament from any party. So these accusations are wrong in every regard. Listen, guys and girls, together we can form the most powerful antidote to centralised bureaucracy and anti-democracy that exists in Europe. Together, we will be the voice of opposition. We'll be the free thinkers. We'll be the radicals. If we don't make this deal work, I think democracy across the whole of Europe will suffer.